When chapman billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tack the gate, and we sit boozing at the nappy, and getting fou and hunko happy, we think na on the long Scots miles, the mosses, waters, slaps and stiles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sullen, sulky dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, and nursing a wrath to keep it warm. This truth found honest Tam O'Shanter when he fae air ae night did canter, all dare, wham nearest tune surpasses, for honest men and bonny lasses. Now, Tam, hadst thou been sae wise as taking thy ain wife's, Kate's advice, she telt thy eye thou was a skellum, a blustering, blethering, drunken blellum, that fae November till October, ae market night, thou wasna sober. And ilka milker with the miller, thou sat as long as thou had siller, and every nag that caught a shoe on, the smith and thee got roaring fou on. And at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou strank with Curtin Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched by warlocks in the murk by Alloway's old haunted kirk. O gentle dames, it gars me greet to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened sage advices the husband from the wife despises. But to our tale. A market night, Tam had got planted unco right fast by an ingle, bleeze and finely, with reeman swats that drank divinely. And at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient trusty drouthy crony. Tam looed him like a very brother. They had been fou for weeks together. The night drove on with songs and clatter, and aye the ale was getting better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with pleasures secret, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories. The landlord's laugh was ready chorus. Outside the wind might roar and rustle, Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man sae happy, e'en drooned hersel among the nappy. As bees buzz hame wi' lades o' treasure, the moments winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills o' life victorious. But pleasures are like the poppy's spread. You seize the flower, its bloom is shed. Or like the snowfall in the river, a moment white, then gone forever. Or like the borealis race, that flits ere you can point its place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amidst the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches, Tam maun ride. That hour, o night's black arch the keystane, that dreary hour Tam mounts his beastin', and suck a night he tacks the roadin', as near poor sinner was abroadin'. The wind blew like 'twad blown its last, the rattling showers rose on the blast, the fleeting gleams the darkness swallowed, loud, deep and long the thunder bellowed. That night a child might understand the deil had business on his hands. Wheel mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelpit on through dub and mire, despising rain and hail and fire, whilst clutching fast his good blue bonnet, whilst crooning all an old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent care, lest bogles catch him unaware. Kirkalloway was drawing nigh, where ghaists and hoolits nightly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snaw the ploughman smarred, and past the birks, the meikle stane, where Junkin Charlie brak his neck bane, and through the whins, and by the cairn, where hunters found the murdered bairn, and by the thorn, aboon the well, where Murdo's mother hanged hersel. Before him, doon pours all his floods. The doubling storm roars through the woods. The lightnings flash from pole to pole. Near and more near the thunders roll. When, glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed awe ablaze. Through Idcub Bore the licht was glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers you can make us scorn. With tuppenny, we fear nae evil. With Ushgaba, we'll face the deal. The swat say reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play, he feared nae deals a boddle. But Maggie stood, right fair astonished, till, by the hand and heel admonished, she ventured forward on the light, and wow, Tam saw an unco sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae cottons brent fresh frae France, but hornpipes, jigs, straths, spaes and reels brought life and metal to their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat auld Nick in shape o' beast. A towsy tyke, black, grim and large, to gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gart them skirl, till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round, like open presses, to show the dead in their last dresses. And by some devilish cantret sleight, each in their cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the holy table a murderer's banes in gibbet airns, twa wee span lang unchristened bairns. A thief fresh cutted fae a rape, wi' his last gasp his gup did gape. 5 tomahawks with blood red rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a garter that a bairn had strangled, a knife a feather's throat had mangled, by his ain son o' life bereft, the grey hairs yet stuck to the heft. And mair, oh terrible and awful, that even to name would be unlawful. 3 lawyers' tongues, turned inside out wi' lees, seamed like a beggar's clute. 3 priests' hearts, vile, black as muck, lay stinking, rinked in every nook. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper hard and harder blew, the dancers fast and faster flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they clickit, till ilka carlin swat and reekit, and coosed their duddies to the work, and link it to it in their sarks. Now Tam, oh Tam, had they been queens, all plump and strapping in their teens, their sarks instead of creasy flannin been snow-white 1700 linen. Their breeks o' mine, my only pair, that ance were plush o' good blue hair, I would have gied them off my hardies for a blink o' they bonny birdies. But withered beldams, old and droll, rig-woody hags would speen a foal, flinging and louping on a crummock, I wonder didna turn the stomach. But Tam kent what was what fu brawly. There was a winsome witch and Wally that night enlisted in their corps, long after Kent on Carrick's shore. For many a beast to death she'd shot, and perished many a bonny boat, and shook both muckle corn and beer, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark, o' paisley harn, that whiles a lassie she had worn, in longitude though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunty. Oh, little ken thy reverend granny the sark she coughed for her wee nanny, for £2 Scots, 'twas all her riches, would ever have graced a dance o' witches. But here my muse her wing maun cour, such flights are far beyond her poor, to sing how Nanny lap and flang, she was a supple jade and strang. How Tammy glowered like one enchanted, and thought his very eyes enchanted. Even Satan glowered and fidged fu fain, and hotched and blew wi' might and main, till first ein caper, syne another, Tam tint his reason altogether, and rolls out, "Well done, Cutty Sark!" And in a moment all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied. As bees buzz out wi' angry fyke, when marauding herds assail their bike. As open pussy's mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose. As eager runs the market crowd, when "Stop the thief!" resounds aloud. So Maggie ran, the witches follow, with melee and eldritch screech and bellow. Oh Tam, they'll get thy fairing, in hell they'll roast thee like a herring. In vain thy skate awaits thy coming, thy wife will soon be a woeful woman. So do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and make the keystone at the brig. There at them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they darena cross. But ere the keystone she could make, the fainter tail she had to shake. For Nanny, hard before the rest, hard on noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle, but little wished she Maggie's mettle. A spring brought off her master hale, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clatched her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, you this tale of truth maun read. Ilk man and mother's son, tak heed. Whenever to drink you are inclined, or Cutty Sarks run through your mind, think you may buy the joys our dear. Remember, Tam O'Shanter's and Mayor. Happy Burns Night, everybody.